Is Frank Hartfree, who makes the show happen sort of above the ground, i.e. all the trades and the security. And they're going to talk you through a couple of bits about Mr. Boyde. Where is he? Where is he?
So where is Mr. Boyde? Where is he hiding? The first record of Mr. Boyde in this weighty tome of the Minutes book, Mr. Boyde likes to refer to the Minutes book, is in 1963, when Willett and Boyd acted as the show vet. 1963 being 50 years ago. But the show in those days was in a bit of a sorry state, which wasn't Mr. Boyde's fault. Losing money every year, and in 1965 a subcommittee reported in Mr. Boyde's book that generally, taking all things into consideration, they could not recommend the continuance of the association or the show in its present form, and they therefore agreed that either the present association should be wound up in 1966 and the possibility of an independent Chertsey Town show be formed, or amalgamate or merge with the Royal Egham, Thorpe and Agricultural Horticultural Association. And this was to be given further consideration on hearing the views of the Egham group. Well, funnily enough, Mr. Boyde's name appears in the Minute book, as he wasn't very happy with that idea. So in 1966, he joined the Bacon and Pork Subcommittee. So he arranged the bacon and pork carcass competition, which we don't actually still have, but it made Mr. Boyde appear in the book quite regularly after that. He also then joined the Country Fair Committee, which was the first time when somebody suggested having some trade stands. And he offered to run the pet tent, because somebody had to. So that was 3 jobs he took on in 1966. But unfortunately, the show still lost money. And in 1967, they had a vote to be taken on whether or not there should be another show. So Carl stood up and persuaded in his usual fashion, and 9-5 in favour of one more show. And in 1967, Mr. Boyde proposed that we should have a gymkhana and a dog show. Oh, and a farm museum display. So he thought he'd have another subcommittee to act as a think tank for new ideas. So he obviously didn't think it was going to be the last show. And in 1969, on the 15th of May, all in the book, he took over from Mr. Branston as the chairman. And the committee felt that they had, quote, a new chairman who was going to keep the association going, which I think is probably true. But unfortunately, the chairman was only allowed to serve for 3 years. And according to the Minute book that tracks on from then till now, Mr. Boyde has served 44 years. So there's nothing wrong with Mr. Boyde's arithmetic. But as you might know, Mr. Boyde has a number of skills. And there's a former show director in the room here, Phil Brown, my predecessor. And Phil Brown always used to say, if you want help, breed your own. But Carl's got a better plan. Get some volunteers. But don't let them know that they are being volunteered by Carl to do something that they probably didn't even think that they had it in them to go and do. Because what he does, he just sort of collars you and says, oh, just pop along and do something really small, like pick up some litter for half an hour. And then a few years later, you're there for days. Or you pop into the farm just to, you know, get a signature on something, and all of a sudden you get taken off to Great Grove Farm to herd up some cows for the rest of the afternoon. Which is not a bad way of running an organisation. So I've got something for Mr. Boyde from the ground crew. Something that money couldn't buy, Carl. A blue plaque for Mr. Boyde. So you're going to put it at Harbert Court Farm. That's Carl Boyde, Chertsey Agricultural Association, member 1963 onwards, chairman 1969 onwards. Thank you very much for volunteering me as well.
Very sorry, Chairman, you don't get the microphone just yet, sir. Basically, that's from the ground crew and, of course, a lot of supporters. Overall, the association obviously wishes to recognise your service, your kindness to many of us over a great number of years. A lot of thought went into this, I have to say. Plaques, I'm sure you got plenty. Platters, plenty, and so forth. And I'm sure you don't want another one. However, it's appropriate this weekend. Steam is the theme, in a way, because your eyes really lit up yesterday when that Foden steam lorry suddenly appeared out of the blue, unbeknown to you, although you had an inkling it may just come. And hopefully we'll find a way of spiriting it into that main ring for you tomorrow. And all being well, we'll bring up the rear with a steamroller, and that's a free press run for the ground crew to have the ground nicely level after all this has happened. So having said steam is the theme, we would, as an association, like to treat you to a day out, especially with Pam, your wife, on the 5th of next month, on a Pullman-style steam-pulled train, where you can relax, enjoy, and a little bit of nostalgia. And I think it's most important to recognise Pam in this, because absolutely, Chairman, behind every good man is a good woman. And when I first arrived at this show 25 years ago, and I honestly don't think it's that long, but the calendar says it is, one of the very first people I met was Pam Boyde. She was exceedingly kind and helpful to Jill and I, and I say that in all sincerity, because we were newcomers to agricultural shows. We had no idea what happened. By golly, I've learned a lot over the last 25 years, and it is important to recognise Pam as well as Carl. So, Chairman, please may I present you with your special package, and we sincerely hope you both enjoy that wonderful day out. I've just been asked to present this to you, and it's an anonymous donation. Right, the card says, to Mrs. Pam Boyde, thank you for allowing Carl to have such a long reign for far too many years to mention. And it's signed by, what a surprise, a non. And I wonder if Chris Norman would like to come to the microphone. Chris.
Hello. I feel very honoured to have been asked to present this award to Carl. It's an award from the Mayor of Runnymede. It's a bit of achievement. Awarded to Carl Boyde, MRCBS, for 50 years service to the Chertsey Agricultural Association. I feel very honoured, as I say, to say a few words about his incredible 50 years service to the Chertsey Agricultural Association. A few words, that's a challenge. Carl Boyde, a few surgeon, farmer, husband, father, grandfather. Since 1969, as we've heard, Carl has been chairman of the Chertsey Agricultural Association, and you heard that it was struggling at the time. From 63, when he was first involved. And under Carl's guidance, we can see how it has flourished since then. Record numbers here today, 18,500 people, I believe, here today. So, so seemingly getting better and better each year. Events like this don't just happen. It takes a huge effort by many people. And Carl has managed to persuade a team, I believe, of about 40 people to join the committee, which he runs with his joyful determination. Now, I must just mention a few of the other things that Carl has been involved with. President of the Heavy Horse Association, Animal Welfare at Home and Abroad, Ascot Racecourse, Protection of Animals, Crufts Dog Shows, Safe Transport of Animals Abroad, Expert on Percheron horses. Well, they're French, you know. And in 2000, Carl was honoured for his services to agriculture and so. And the list goes on. Sailor. Now, not many people know that. And not many vets can say they've been called on to revive a collapsed elephant. I'm sure Jerry Cottle and Rani the elephant were most grateful. Carl even found time to stand for the local council. And Carl, I know our politics may differ slightly, although this evening we're in coalition. I'm sure I speak for many of your friends here this evening and elsewhere when I congratulate you on this extraordinary life of service to the community, and this award just shows that. Carl, it gives me a great pleasure to present this award to you on behalf of the association that you have served so well.
Thank you and good night.
Well, first of all, I want to say this was totally unexpected. I was tricked into coming for a drink. I hadn't left the ground. I'd just been circulating, as I usually do, among their supporters in the horse, goat, sheep lines and so on. And I was trapped into believing that I was coming in here for a drink. Well, I've got the drink, but what a wonderful surprise to meet so many friends, good friends, and receive these awards, which are quite unjustified because I've done nothing very much except help people help themselves to help Chertsey and district, and it's been a joy so to do. And quite rightly, I'm not quite overcome because I could carry on for some time without. Boy, the pants off you with my history. But, history has always been my particular topic, and when I discovered that our farm had been farmed for several hundred years, I mean many hundreds of years, that in our barn took place the manor courts and the 100 courts, I was hooked. And when I discovered that the Chertsey Agricultural Association started its life with a ploughing match on Hardwick Court Farm in 1828, and if you go to the library you find the posters that were produced, and this association grew from Hardwick Court Farm all those years ago, nearly 200 years. And this convinced me that it was something that was worth preserving, and I've done my best. Thank you all very much indeed. I'm really rather overwhelmed, and thank you too for recognising Pam as the other half of the equation, because if there wasn't someone behind me keeping me, I'd have gone a long time ago. Nature would have taken me a long time ago, but anyway, she keeps me going. Thanks, love.
Just say there's food on the table and the band's about to play. Thank you.
Well done, well done. That's right, yeah.
One.